What you just saw there was me on a mechanical llama of all things, and that was an experience I had at the Fortnite booth at E3 2018. E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and it's been going on since, I want to say, the 90s. What you'll find at E3 is video games, and a lot more video games. Now, things have changed, though, since the 90s, and the people who come to E3 are not just press or journalists for your magazine subscription that you got, like Nintendo Power. If there's any other gaming magazines, I'm sure there were, but I can't really think of them. So this was my second time at E3. Last year I went to just kind of check it out, see where the conversation on accessibility was in gaming. My report from last year was that there are things being done, some efforts happening, but the conversation definitely needs to continue. Jump to E3 2018. Jeff Keighley, the guy who produces the Game Awards, you might know him from multiple outlets over the years, and he's been a name in the gaming industry in terms of journalists and analysts, and now as a producer. He got to put on a thing called E3 Coliseum, which was a number of interviews, gameplay showings, and panels that included people from developers to influencers to gamers. So I got to partake in one of those panels. We'll get back to that panel in just a moment. My panel was on Thursday. E3 started technically on the show floor Tuesday. So on the show floor, I decided, well, I'm here. Let's check out some games. That's what you do at E3. So I checked out The Walking Dead. I checked it out, stood in line for an hour and a half. I was asked multiple times, oh, are you playing? Granted, I have my white cane with me because I'm in an expo with 60,000 other people. I'm legally blind. I can't see what's happening around me. I need my cane to get around. Apparently that means that you're not a gamer and you're not here to game. I didn't get to play the game, basically. I reiterated multiple times, yeah, I plan on playing this, and I wanted to play. I finally get into the room to play. They just assumed I was a companion with someone who I came with, and they didn't let me play because I didn't look like I could play, I guess. I don't know. Blind people don't play video games, according to them. Didn't have the best first day. Moving on, Wednesday happens. We ended up checking out Nintendo's booth. I ended up playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the second day, and it was fun. It was familiar, but it was fun. And it was great to see one of my favorite characters, Inkling, from one of my newly favorite games, Splatoon 2. Something I play pretty frequently. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. There wasn't much else that I did on Wednesday. I just checked out some other booths, met up with some other people. That was that. Following on, the next day was the day of the panel. But before I get to that, I do want to just give note to two booths that I did visit. One being Nintendo, and I tried Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Eevee. Pokemon's been a franchise of mine that's been very near and dear to my heart. It's just one of those games that's always been sort of accessible to me, so I always want it to be accessible to others. So I appreciate what they're doing with Let's Go. This game isn't for me, I recognize that, but I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to feel nostalgic because it's based off the first Pokemon game that I actually completed, being Pokemon Yellow. The only thing, though, and I gave feedback to Nintendo, is the motion controls for, you use the Joy-Cons on your Switch to throw a Pokeball. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell a peripheral that also, really encourages this, but it alienates people who can't physically do that or are completely blind and just want to play. Nintendo, if you would like some accessibility consulting, please hit me up. I would love to talk to you about a few things. Anyway, I had fun with it though, and for the most part, I'm probably gonna buy it. Most likely, most definitely. Might even buy both. So I visited the Sony booth and someone came up to me and asked, hey, do you need any ADA assistance, or would you like to check out some of the games in the ADA area? I'm like, you got that? That's a thing here? Shout out to the Sony reps who are just ADA trained. Really appreciate that. Over at Nintendo, you guys have been great and very accommodating as well. Thank you. I just hope that carries over to some of your games because that's important. So moving on, later in the day we had the panel, the Accessibility in Games panel that again was produced by Jeff Keighley. Thank you for being a huge ally for accessibility in gaming. I appreciate you kind of initiating this conversation and giving it a platform. The panelists involved were moderator Paul Lane, who's a journalist and gamer, Emma, who's a gamer, there was Bryce of Microsoft, Sam of Naughty Dog and Sony, and myself. This panel was all about bringing awareness to accessibility in gaming, and whether that means for gamers who might have accessibility needs, who don't know about these features being in some of the games that they might want to try, or bring awareness to designers and developers about adding these features that we want, that we need to their games. One of my favorite points that was brought up during this panel was that accessibility means different things for different people. Not every gamer is the same, and not every gamer's needs are going to be the same. And looking at this controller, as comfortable and as great as this works for me, this controller isn't going to work for everyone. And that's also what I want to bring up. Not every gamer can use a controller like this. You assume that I have fluid motion in my thumbs and that I can reach certain parts. That's not always the case for everyone. I really want to highlight the efforts that Microsoft is making over at Xbox when it comes to hardware accessibility. On Global Accessibility Awareness Day, they announced the Xbox Adaptive Controller. Think of this as sort of like a base, and it lets you use custom inputs to just map out your controls with different kinds of hardware. So for those who have limited mobility and need controllers mapped out differently, it does just that. This is also great for many totally blind gamers who have different input methods. Microsoft has announced interest in letting the adaptive controller work on other platforms. So that means beyond Xbox, maybe you would use the adaptive controller on the Nintendo Switch or PlayStation 4. I would be super excited to know that this thing works amongst all platforms. And who knows, Nintendo, Sony, please let this collaboration happen. But Sony's been no slouch when it comes to accessibility either. They've included so many features within their own games and OS that lets people with disabilities use the PlayStation 4, and it's kind of neat. I mean, for example, Uncharted has a thing called Thief Mode that just looks incredible for someone like me. Might look like complete blandness for you, because basically what it is it takes all the textures away from the game and just makes things solid colors. So if I need to interact with something, it'll either be like red to indicate, oh, it's an enemy, I need to destroy such thing, or it's blue, oh, that's an ally or a teammate. Personally, that's why Splatoon is so easy to see. A lot of Nintendo games just do this kind of because it's their stylistic choice to do bright colors or bright contrasting colors. It just works. Please go listen and watch to the full panel. It's going to be on the GameSlice YouTube channel or on the E3 official Twitter. I want to give a special thanks to Jeff Keighley for giving us that platform, and to iJustine for all the support. I appreciate it so much. I also want to just give a thanks to Kenson, Joe, and Kristen, of course, to just coming out and supporting me. Appreciate you three. I just want to end it on, beyond any ability, disability, or any identity, gaming connects us, and I appreciate that. Glad to see the industry going in a direction that just makes it accessible to as many people as possible. If you guys want to come game with me, I will be live on twitch.tv every so often, and let's game together. Help guide me. Stay tuned to my Twitter and YouTube community for announcements on when I'll be streaming. I'll be playing Fortnite, I'll be playing Mario Kart, Splatoon, maybe just more than that, you know? Come give me suggestions on things to play. I'm streaming now, so it's a way we can connect. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out videos generated just for you. Alright, I'm gonna play some Fortnite.